Hello and welcome to this episode of No Filter. I'm Mia Friedman, co-founder of Mamma Mia. Sophie Monk has been a celebrity for almost 20 years. And during that time, she's been very busy. She's been in a girl band, on a reality TV show. She's been a solo singer, an actress, a TV star. She's been engaged 2.5 times. She's posed for Playboy. And most recently, she's been Australia's 2017 Bachelorette. But that last fact is probably the least interesting thing about Sophie. She spent a decade in Hollywood being told she was too thin, too fat, and too blonde. She developed a pretty thick skin, and she realised that after all of that, people liked her best when she was just being herself. So that is what she's done. She's been herself on national television, and it's worked a treat. Here's Sophie Monk. You a smoker, babe?
Hey, yeah.
You a smoker? I can hear it in your cough.
Oh, thanks.
That's all right. Healthy?
Yeah.
You are looking healthy. Really healthy.
You mean fat?
Well, it's funny that you started there because I remember the first time I met you.
Yep.
When I was editing Cosmo.
Oh, you were saying I was fat?
No, I wasn't saying you were fat,
Oh,
but you
okay.
were crying because you thought you were fat at the photo shoot. I didn't say anyone was fat. I was like, I put Sarah Marie on the cover. I was like, bring it.
Yeah, okay.
All body shapes and sizes.
Yeah, but I'd have a separate wardrobe. Like the girls would have a certain size and then I'd have my own. And that's
Well-
when you go, oh, okay, I'm a bit chubby.
We were shooting you all for a Cosmo cover.
Yeah.
And it was all jeans with little singlet tops.
Yeah.
And it was not the end of the show. I think it was, well, you just sort of, you were maybe still in the middle of it. And yeah, you were tears in the corner.
Yeah, because I felt like a reject. I was like, I need my own special wardrobe for myself.
What size were you then?
Oh, I would have been, I'd say 12, 14.
You were
maybe.
you were not like, you were just a normal size.
Yeah, but they were tiny.
They all were pretty tiny.
Yeah.
What did it feel like?
Well, you just feel different. You don't ever want to feel different as a girl when you're younger.
So they could all wear the same clothes and you had to actually have special
Yes,
clothes.
that's right. Yeah, but when you get older, you realise different is good.
Yeah.
It's only when you're young that you don't realise it, I think.
What are your memories of that time now, the Bardo time?
Well, I didn't even know to want fame and it just happened overnight.
Yeah.
So I didn't want it. So to have it all of a sudden was just a bit scary, I think. Yeah.
It was more though like a doing show in that you were like, you had to audition and you had a fantastic voice. You have a fantastic voice.
Oh, thank you.
I think you were one of the strongest singers in the band.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. What was the process like?
It was full on because I was very vulnerable. Like I was an innocent 19-year-old, 18-year-old. I wasn't worldly at all. I lived in a bubble and I was very innocent. Like everyone loves each other. And I realised then you straighten the industry and realise, no, it's like cutthroat. So it was a shock to the system to go from so protected to just bang, you know, you're in this world that you're not used to.
Was there a big difference between what it was like when you were filming the show and then the difference you noticed when it started to air? Because, I mean, that was before social media.
Oh, yeah.
And it was before everyone was on a reality show. It's hard when you talk to people about back in the olden days, kiddies.
Oh, yeah, no, but I thought it was like I don't read properly. So I thought it was like one special for one episode of ABC or something small that would go away.
Yeah.
I didn't realise it was a full series at all. So, yeah, it was a real shock to me. So I let the cameras in whenever they wanted. They'd wake me up in the morning. The other girls were like, no, don't shoot me. I just played along. I had fun with it.
But it's that real down-to-earthness about you. I mean, there's what you see is what you get. I've known you for quite a few years, not well, but you're the same off air as you are on air.
Yeah. Well, I just learned to do that because when I was trying to be something in LA, it didn't work for me and I was unhappy. I was like, I'm trying to live up to something I can't be. I'm just going to try and be me. And I thought it would backfire and it didn't. And then I was like, great, you can actually be you and own it.
So when you went to LA, were you trying to be like those LA? What were you trying to be like?
Well, there wasn't social media a lot of the time.
No.
So I couldn't answer things. And so me being funny didn't come across. So you just, you're trying to live up to looking really good and dressing really well. And that's all anyone talked about, not about your personality at all. Now it's completely different, thank God. So, I felt like, I was trying to live up to a standard that wasn't me. I'm not that.
It's interesting with you because women love you. You know,
that's
there's a
nice.
stereotype of someone that looks like you would more appeal to men and maybe not be a girl's girl. But you are universally adored by women
Oh, so nice.
because you kind of play against how beautiful you are. Does that make sense?
Oh, I love that you think that. But I don't think I'm attractive, and it's not important to me, to be honest. I get dressed by stylists and makeup artists. Otherwise, you should see how I walk into place.
How do you walk into a place?
Terrible. I wake up with an eyelash on my pillow, and then another one in the shower. Like, I just don't care. It's just I'm a tomboy, and I'm all about. I just like making people happy and laugh. Like, I don't like intimidating people. Like social media today, I think it's all about going, I'm better than you, and I hate that about it. It's like no one's better than anyone, and if you want to make people feel comfortable and happy, don't intimidate people. Like, everyone's got their insecurities. It doesn't matter what you do. That's what I've learned. I've met people with money that are more insecure than anyone in my family that, you know, works really hard. It's so different to how you perceive it, really. The grass isn't greener, and they're trying to pretend it is. And it's like, just own it. They don't get a lot of sympathy because they've got money and fame, but it's like, just be you. Otherwise you're going to be miserable.
What, is LA just mad? Is Hollywood just nuts?
Yep, it is. It is for the everyday person. Yeah, if you grow up there and you have money and you're like a rich kid, it's a bit different because you're used to it. But no, it's terrible. It's like all the stories you hear. There's a lot of that going on. Like, there's no rules.
You went there with a view to do what? What was your ambition when you decided to get on the plane?
I think for me, I wanted to prove that I could be successful in the industry without a TV show because I thought maybe I just got lucky. And won that, and I want to challenge myself. I've always been like that for some reason.
Were there opportunities here, or Bardo split up and it kind of was like, oh,
no,
Australia's a bit too small, I got to go and stretch
No,
my
it wasn't
wings.
that. There was a lot of opportunities, but I just wanted to challenge myself. I really did, and travel. I don't know why I went to LA and not like the UK or something, but I went there and I booked the first movie audition I did. I got a #1 film and I was like, this is easy.
But
and then
how does
next
that work? So you land in Hollywood, you land in LA with a
yeah.
suitcase, and then how do you get representation?
Well, I went to an agent, but because of what I've done in the past, they then picked me up and went, let's see what we can do.
How did you know which agent to go to?
I didn't. I went to the wrong one, to be honest. It was terrible. But yeah, I got comedy.
Did you have
what I
friends
love
there?
doing. No one.
So where did you go from the airport?
A producer's house from Blink 182 video, and stayed at her house for a few days, and then found another friend that I stayed with, and then worked really hard. There was times I was like just slept in my car.
How long were you there for?
10 years.
Oh, wow.
I know.
I got the sense that you really worked hard during those 10 years, that it was a slog.
Yeah.
Trying to get a break.
It is. It's super hard. And then you might get a break and then you'll date someone that interferes with that and doesn't want you to do well, or like it is very tricky, and you've got to keep moving. And
What do you mean date someone that doesn't want you to do well?
You know, like you might have a boyfriend that goes, oh, I want you to stop for a while, which I do because I'm a lover, and then you've got to start again. So then I'd try and get another film.
Come on.
Yeah. But
you'd stop because the guy said...
Yeah. Yeah, but I was young.
That's not the sign. Yeah.
I wouldn't do it now.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
And so when you were trying to get a break, as what? As a full-time actress, that's what you wanted to be? Like, whose career did you go, that's what I'm aiming for?
I love Amy Poehler, and I worked with her.
Did you? What in?
Spring Breakdown, it was called. Yeah. It was meant to be a massive film like Bridesmaids, but last minute, like, it changed hands in Warner or something. But I wrote some of my lines with her, and I loved that. I love comedy.
Wow. Is she a girl's girl?
Yeah, she is. Definitely. Yeah.
What's it like being in that machine? I mean, obviously sets in Australia are small, and someone goes out to get catering and gets a few croissants and there's some takeaway coffees. What's it like to be on a big movie set? What was that experience like? We
work harder in Australia, I'll tell you that, and I like it. I'd rather work and go home than like go over days and days and days. But they do their unions in like amazing. So you're sitting there, but sometimes you're waiting for your scene, like you're getting hair and makeup touch-ups for like hours, and then it's 2 a.m. you're called, and and then you get one shot too. They don't have time.
And do you have like a trailer that you hang out?
Yeah, but like a crap one usually.
What? So it's like a caravan?
Yeah, it's like a caravan.
And different people get different size trailers depending on
Yeah,
how.
they do.
Yeah.
They request them. But no, most of the time it's not as glamorous as you think.
What about the audition process? Is that pretty grueling for things?
Horrible.
Like you did 10 years of being rejected, right?
Oh,
Essentially.
three times a day rejected. Like, no, you're too skinny, or you're too this, or you're too fat, or you're too, too blonde, or you're too...
Not blonde enough.
Or chose the wrong angle. You read the script wrong. Like, all day you're kind of getting scrutinised. And I think after a while you just go, oh, God, it gets you down. So you just got to,
After a while, it'd get me down on the first day. How do you must have really, really wanted it.
Yeah, I just think I'm only good at one thing, entertaining. I've never been good at anything else at school, and I love doing it. And so I was on a mission to kind of just do what I like doing.
How did you support yourself during those 10 years?
I was lucky to get enough movies. Like I've done about 15 films. So I've done enough, and commercials, and I'd come back here and work. And I've been lucky in that way.
And would you go to an audition and there'd be like 50 girls that looked like you all going for the same part?
Yes. All like different, completely different, and they're all studying and going, "Ba-ra-ba-ba-ba-ba," and I'm like, what are you doing? I'm just going in to talk. Like all sorts of weird people you meet.
Did you have to have an American accent?
Yeah.
How was that? Can you talk in one now?
No, I can, but it'll probably be shit. But every movie I did was American except for, I think, Entourage TV show I did was English.
Did you go in and start just in all your auditions, you just had to start talking with your American accent?
I wasn't that much. I can't.
You could just turn it on and off.
Yeah, just turn it on and off.
That's harder, I reckon.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. If you do it all the time, it's easy.
Yeah.
And when you live there, you get an ear for it, I think.
And then dating the high-profile guys that you dated, how does that sort of derail where you're trying to go?
It doesn't help. Like, I think people think if you date a celebrity, it's going to help your career. It's the opposite. Whatever they represent, you end up representing for them. Like, if they're socialites, you end up that. Like, it's not a great thing, and it doesn't help you unless you've got a talent behind it and people want you. Like, I think people think, if you date a celebrity, you're going to end up a celebrity. You need a talent, or or people need to want to audition you. So it was just the circles I was in. It's like high school over there. It's like a small circle of people, and that's the only circles I met with celebrities. It's not like I chose, I want a celebrity at all today. It was just the only option. So I was just in those circles.
When you say you sort of take on whatever their persona is, if it's like rocker or whatever it happens to be, is that it's put on you, or you find yourself, like we all do, being a bit of a chameleon, depending, we did when we were younger, whichever guy you're with, like you take on their lifestyle a little bit?
I think it's a lot like high school. Like they say, it's the company you keep. That's what happens. It's like, you become that. Because I was very anti the kind of, even though I respect the hell out of what Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie do, I wanted to be an actress, or I wanted to be, but they got a different kind of vibe about them. But I kind of fell into that, and by accident, is just by association.
Did you stay with the same agent through your whole 10 years?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
And did they say, well, this isn't working, why don't you try this? Or why don't you try dyeing your hair? Or why don't you try... How did you kind of go at it from different angles?
Oh, yeah, I had agents say... They didn't say dye your hair. They'd say lose weight, which was a big thing.
You're
and you're so young.
skinny.
And it's like... No, I was chubby for a second. But as a woman, when you put on a little bit of weight and you're going through something, or, we all blow out and in. But
isn't everyone crazy skinny over there?
Ridiculous. It's insane.
And they really say lose weight to get this part.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
And so what would you do?
Well, I've lost weight before. If I have to, you just run more, or... but that's why I love Australia, I think, and how social media is now. You can just be you. You don't have to try and be beautiful and perfect. Like, it's just a different world now. It's much better.
For a while you were talking about, I think you did a pilot of a reality show kind of about your life, like being in Hollywood. Remind me what that was.
Oh, well, I did one for a pilot for E! Channel, but they didn't produce it great, to be honest. They didn't get the comedy side of it. But it was just like, now what I'd like to do is show the other side where it's all bullshit. Like, we all try and pretend to be something on social media. Like, I'll order a bottle of Verve and send it back and then get the cheap bottle to look cool. Like, we all do stuff. Like, no one's ever going to post, I'm depressed today. They're going to go, happiness is everything, and you go, you're depressed. Like, it's all, everyone just tries to pretend to be something on social media. That's why I feel bad for teenagers today, is they're trying to live up to what they're posting, and it's not real life. It doesn't represent who they are. And it's, I just think it's creating insecurity. So I try and be as honest as I can.
What's interesting is when something shit happens, I find now it comes as so much more of a shock because we're marinating in this sea of perfection.
Yeah.
That you just go, what do you mean someone died? Or what do you mean someone's got a really bad illness or someone's had something terrible happen to them? Because you don't see that anywhere
You don't see
anymore.
it coming either.
No.
It's like everyone's like, happiness, and then it's like, bang. Like, it's intense. I think it's putting a lot of pressure on people, and I feel like I've lived it since I was a teenager, is fame, and now teenagers are living fame through social media. It's exactly what I went through. You're trying to pretend to be something you're not. You gotta, I don't know how we change it, to be honest. That's what I'd like to do, is just be you. Be a dork if you are. People appreciate it. And that's what I found liberating when I came back to Australia, to finally be me again. Like, I don't care what I look like, but I've got stylists that can make me look good.
Yeah,
but,
if you choose that.
Yeah, that's it. You just got to be you. And I never thought that was attractive. I wanted to be like everyone else. And you can't be anyone else. You just got to be who you are.
Did you have to work against what people thought of you in LA, because that thing of, but you're the hot one.
Yeah.
You can't be funny. That doesn't work. You've got to be the hot one.
Well, they cast me as the funny hot one, so I'm the bimbo usually. Not saying I'm hot, but
you are. It's okay.
No,
Does that get tired?
No, as long as I'm funny, I'm fine, because I'm taking the piss out of myself doing it. But I think when they wanted me to be that, I was like, I couldn't do it.
Does the Australian irreverence and Australian humour, particularly coming out of someone who looks like you, did some people find that confusing? Because men sometimes find that confusing.
Australia just invite it. That's why I love Australians. I think we're so intelligent. Like, we really are. We're very pessimistic, but we're socially beyond. Like, we're not delusional at all. I think Australians can see through most bullshit. And so it's relieving. It took me a little bit. People were like, is she crazy or funny? And then once they got onto it, I think they warmed to me. Yeah.
Up next, Sophie talks about all things Stu. Do you like how we call him Stu? Like as if he's our mate Stu. But first, I've got something I want to tell you. Did you know that if you follow Mamma Mia on Facebook, you don't see a lot of the stuff that we publish every day? A lot of the stories, you only probably see maybe 5% of them, maybe 10%, and they're just the ones that Facebook want you to see. So a lot of people don't know that. And so we are all about telling you that it's time to come home. Come back, check out the Mamma Mia homepage. That is where you're going to find the full breadth of content, from Meghan Markle to Don Burke and everything in between. You'll find the absolute Mamma Mia mix on the homepage, mammamia.com.au. I found that I, as a user of the internet, am starting to go back to homepages a little bit. I know there was a trend for us all to just look at Facebook all the time. And, do love a good Facebook. But I'm also starting to look at homepages again, because there's so much content there of the brands you love and trust that you will miss if you just are scrolling through your feed all the time. So we will see you on mammamia.com.au. You were engaged 2.5 times.
Yep.
When you were in LA.
Yeah.
Benji Madden.
Yes.
I forget which one he is.
He's the twin. There's Joel and Benji.
They're
Joel's
both
with
twins.
Joel's
He's the twin of the twin.
Joel's with Nicole.
Okay,
Richie,
so it's not the Nicole one.
No.
It's the Cameron one.
Yes.
What's it like dating a twin?
It's different. There's a weird balance between twins, and they've almost got a relationship between each other anyway. But it's nice to see family love each other, because that's where I come from. And they're both really good guys. They really are. But I just think I was young and also missed my home. You just know you can't deny where you come from.
And then the plastic surgeon. Was he a plastic surgeon?
Oh, yeah, he was, yeah.
Something bad happened there. I can't remember what it was.
Oh, yeah. He kind of cheated on me, but yeah. That was awesome.
That was great. You guys were engaged?
No, we weren't engaged.
He wasn't one of the engagements?
No, there was another guy.
Which one was that?
He was like a businessman.
Yeah.
And we were engaged for a little bit, but he was a bit older. And he was awesome. We had so much fun.
Yeah.
And I just think the maturity I needed.
You needed someone older and more mature.
I think so.
That whole thing of did you get engaged quite quickly when you were with those guys?
Yes. That's what I do.
Yeah.
I move quickly.
Yeah. I was looking at Francis Abbott getting engaged after 2 weeks.
2 weeks, yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, you know, if you don't want to get married within the 2 weeks, then there's probably something wrong, because that's it doesn't get better than that first 2 weeks,
No way.
really.
Yeah, that's killer.
It is killer.
That's what I've learned, is just sit back a bit and be patient.
Don't
I'm
make
so
big
impulsive.
decisions.
Yeah.
Yes. So then deciding to do The Bachelorette.
Yeah.
You went for it, right? Your idea.
I just felt like I was at a place in my life where I cared about myself. I wanted a healthy, good relationship, and I don't, like, it's so weird because in LA you get hit on by everyone. In Australia, no one. Like, no one approaches me. So I just thought it made sense for me.
It's not like you could go on Bumble.
Oh, well, I can't go on Tinder or anything. It'd be public in a second. And even going to a club or like a bar, or I can't do it.
So how have you been meeting people since you got back to Australia?
That's why I did The Bachelorette. That was my only option.
Efficiency.
Yeah, and it sounds weird, but at least they know what they're in for, what they're, so it made sense.
Yeah, it's like speed dating but on television.
Yes.
And someone else pays.
Well, my whole life's been on TV anyway.
Yeah.
And cameras. So for me, it's no different.
Did Channel 10 need much convincing to go out of the mould and do it with a celebrity?
Yeah, they did.
Where did the idea come from, and then how did you proceed it?
It was me, and I spoke to my manager, Titus Day, and...
I can't believe that's his actual name.
I know. It's awesome, isn't it?
Titus Day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every time I read his name, I'm like, that's a stunt name or a porn name.
It's pretty good.
Titus Day. Yeah. So you said Titus.
Yeah. Titus, can we please do this? And he went, let me call them, because I was thinking about producing my own one, because I was like, it's going to be public anyway, whoever I date. Everyone wants to know.
Yeah.
So I might as well do it this way. And he went, well, let me contact Bachelor, and they weren't sure. So I flew myself and accommodated myself and went, look, trust me. They wanted to know I was in there for the right reasons. And yeah, that's how it came about.
They're it's kind of heartwarming at Channel 10. I've dealt with them a little bit over the years of The Bachelor. And whereas in America, it's very much a show.
Yeah.
And they cast it for characters and TV and drama and what's going to, be the most high impact melodrama. But in Australia, all the way to the top, they are very much in the belief that they are helping people fall in love.
Yeah,
like,
right.
It's not just Osher stick.
No.
They actually believe that all the way to the top.
Well, the other ones overseas are a bit like Big Brother, or like they sleep with each other on the show. There's none of that going on this show.
And they cast it like, they'll cast a white supremacist
for drama
with a black suitor and,
right.
the whole thing just for drama.
Yeah.
But I think often to the detriment of the show here, it's maybe over the last few seasons become a little, samey, because it's a whole lot of good-looking people who are genuinely trying to fall in love, which is lovely. But I think that's why when everyone heard about you, it was like, hell yes.
Oh, at the beginning, everyone was like, no, she's doing it for profile. And I was like, I'm probably the only Bachelor that doesn't need profile. Like,
that's so
true. I didn't go in it for that. I thought this could backfire like you've never seen before. And it could have. As people go, she's full of shit. But
could it though?
Yes.
But why full of shit? How? Like,
well,
you know what
think
you like.
like performing, or I want to resurrect my career, someone said. And I was like, I don't need it. I can go and do another show. I chose this and went to them and asked for it. And it could have gone either way. And also, I don't know how they edit or like anything about them. I hadn't worked with Tem before or Warner. And so it was the unknown.
What was the meeting like, and what did you have to, how did you convince them?
I had to sell myself. I had to say to them, I cannot meet someone. And my mum said, this is a great idea, and I think I just would like to do this. And if you can, choose people for me, that's the only way I can do it. And at the end they went, we get it. We'll do it with you. So it's the first celebrity kind of
But
Bachelor.
Then did you have to play a bit hard to get so that you'd get a good deal out of it?
No, you don't. If you go to someone, then you can't go, anyway, no.
But that makes it a bit hard to negotiate.
Well, that's it. So, but I asked to do it, so that's how it works. Yeah.
So they're like, here's what we'd like to pay you. And you're like,
yes.
I don't want to do it anyway.
Yeah, imagine. No, that's not how it works. Yeah.
Then do you brief them on the kinds of guys that you like so they pick a pool of
Yeah.
they
you
know
do.
roughly how? So how did they do it? Do they show you photos or do you have to fill out a questionnaire?
Nothing. And I didn't want that because I've chosen wrong my whole life. So I just said, I want sense of humour. I just want to feel safe. I just gave them the list and went, leave it to you because you know better than me because I've clearly failed over the years. Yeah.
I have a girlfriend who just went on Bumble and she's also made a few errors and she said, I chose a guy that I didn't want to sleep with because she said, I've gone wrong so many times before.
That is kind of genius.
Yeah. And he's a lovely guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
They've broken up now.
Yeah. Because she was bored.
But I like the idea.
Yeah.
I like the idea because it's like, okay, well, there's something that's not working. If you had to say the mistake that you've made, it's not necessarily going for bad boys. That's too simple, isn't it?
Yeah. I think I've gone for people that chase after me rather than me going, I want you. I'm too scared to do that and get hurt.
It's like, oh, if you want me, oh, that's fine.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. And then you get in it and go,
you get
maybe you're wrong
flattered.
for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like impulsive. They're like, I love you in like 10 seconds. And I'm like, same. And then I'm like, oh, God, too soon. I think that's what I've learned as well. It takes time to love someone. You can't do that quick.
Foundations are important.
That's it.
But then the process of doing it on TV is firstly accelerated and secondly just weird and not normal.
Yeah.
So how do you trust anything that you feel in that process?
Well, I can. Honestly, I've been around cameras ridiculous. Like, I don't feel like I'm ever not around cameras. I think that's why I've just relaxed now and I just talk normal, like I talk to friends. So for me, it was easy. And also revealing where I could see how guys would act when they're in that environment, which is my life. So you want someone that knows what they're taking on as well. And, yeah, I met a lot of really nice guys on there.
I liked on the first day, I liked Sam, but then I didn't like
Same.
Sam.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. I was like, hot, this is where you go wrong. You're hot. And then, no.
Yeah, that's it.
Was there a lot of that where it's like, oh,
yes. Yeah, where you think you're a good judge of character and then I was like, oh, I can see this in them. And then, eventually they reveal themselves.
Yeah.
And very quickly.
And was it weird having sex just taken out of it?
Best. It's good.
Yeah.
I think it takes, it's just, it complicates things, I think, sex. I think anytime, I've always waited, but when I do, then you fall in love. Women are different to guys.
See, I've never waited, and that's the problem. Because then I also fall in love.
Yeah,
so
but
I'm just like, oh, I must love you now because we slept together. And it's like,
but
no.
guys and girls are so different. So guys literally have sex and they're done. Like, that's just how they're made up. Girls have sex and we go, we're in love. So that's where I learnt to go, no, that's when I fall. So it was the best ever.
Yeah, to have that. I mean, you could have had overnight.
If I could tell any woman anything is do not have sex on the first night or wait for a while.
How long do you reckon?
As long as you can.
It's hard though.
Yeah,
in
of course
every
it
sense.
is. Especially, if you want it. But you got to. It does. It just, the respect goes. Guys are so different in that way.
To me, it's not about respect. To me, it's just about my feelings get confused.
Yeah, that's
and
it.
I feel like I feel things that I don't actually feel.
It's almost like a hormone gets released, a love hormone. That's what they say. Is that's what happens with women. Whereas guys are the opposite. They're like cut off, yeah. But
then after you chose Stu, I assume before you have to go your separate ways, they give you a night together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And after the whole show.
After the whole show.
Yeah, not before.
No, because you didn't know that he was chosen.
No, that's right.
Yeah, after, on the island before you're anywhere.
Yeah.
And then is it see ya?
No.
Do you just say bye and then no contact to Stu? No contact for 2 months?
No, you get to spend like a couple of nights.
Oh, you do get to spend a couple of nights?
Yeah.
And what's that like? Is it you then have to start again in a way because there's no cameras around?
No, it was awesome. Just you can relax finally. Yeah.
Why did he get Botox, Soph?
I don't know he did.
Oh, he did. He's admitted that he did.
Oh,
he said that he did. Yeah, he did.
Well, good on him. I don't know. I don't know what to say.
He's a handsome man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What, are you trying to hit on him or?
No.
Okay, great.
No, the Botox is, I couldn't.
Oh, really?
I couldn't go past it.
Yeah, it wears off in 3 months, doesn't it?
Well, that's what he said. He said he did it for a laugh.
Did he?
Yeah.
I didn't even read this article.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he did. He said it was one of the stupidest things he did. You must have
Fair
worked
enough.
out pretty quickly that he had it.
No, I could not tell.
Oh, stop it.
I swear to you, I could not notice he's had Botox. It
What do
must
you
have worn off by now then.
Yeah, you reckon? Well, because he's got like quite a, I like the sort of the rugged, handsome. I don't know. It's because I'm older. Once you're older, guys with grey hair start
Same.
looking attractive
I'm
to you. Isn't that funny?
No, even younger, I liked it.
Did you?
Yeah, I like that. Like, just go with it.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like, yeah.
So what you say about taking it slow and everything, is that the context for why everyone thinks it's actually not on?
Yeah, I think it is as well. But also, I travel a lot for work. So I think they're used to these people coming off the show and just being together as a profession every day. Like, I've got to go off to Melbourne. I'm never home.
So when you
I've
say
been home for
work, what
months.
would you describe that you do now?
Well, commercials for things. I love working. Radio. I'm travelling all over the country all the time.
On your passport form or in immigration, what do you describe
I'm an
yourself as?
entertainer at the end of the day.
An entertainer.
And I'll do conferences, and I just love making people laugh. So I'll host things, and that's what keeps me going. That's my hobby.
So you're like a presenter and a host and
Yep.
an entertainer.
Yep, I'd say. And acting. Did a movie not long ago. Like, I love all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you have to travel a lot, so you can't be in each other's pockets.
Well, we can, but not every day. It's a couple of days a week I'm away.
Yeah. Do
Yeah.
you live together?
No, not yet. It's only been like a month or something. since
But
2
you're
months.
you're in Queensland and you say you're never home.
Oh, I'm always here.
So when you're in Sydney, you're with him.
Yeah, always. Like, he's staying tonight. Yeah, we spend time together when we're here.
Yeah. What is it then like when you have to prove that your relationship's real? Like, that wouldn't have been something you would have expected walking out of there.
I'm just done with it. Like, we can't win. Like I was saying, if we...
Well, you did win. He won.
Well, but we're like at an airport and they're like, kiss. And I see the paparazzi. I'm like, why are we doing this? And then it's like overboard. They're trying to prove something. Or we're not affectionate enough. Like, but we're not 12 hanging out and that's our profession together. We've both got separate lives as well. We're not codependent either.
That's really healthy.
I'm not. Well, that's the first time I've not been codependent, to be honest.
Yeah.
It is. It's like I've got work to do, and then when we meet up, it's awesome.
When I think about you with your other boyfriends, in my vast experience of your boyfriends,
Oh, fair
but
enough.
when I think about your pap shots and
Thanks,
stuff,
Mum.
yeah, you're not all over them. Like, it's not. I
No.
can't think of any pictures of you and Benji canoodling or
Never. If
you
I
and
see a
Sam or
paparazzi,
anything.
I let go hands. Like,
Yeah.
because you get like, oh, they're there. It's like I can see the camera there. If I do that, it's almost like soft porn. Like, I'm not going to make it
Yeah.
like be all over someone. It's just a bit odd to me.
And now it's also there's an aspect of come on monkeys dance, like kiss for us and
That's
hold
it.
hands.
Exactly right. And
Yeah.
it's not me. So I think just time will tell.
You've been followed by the paparazzi a lot over your career.
Yeah.
What's the headspace of that like before you go out and walk out the door in the morning, given that you aren't naturally the person who loves getting dressed up and glamorized 24/7?
All you got to do is Google Sophie Monk camel toe and Ugg boots. You'll see it. I just stopped caring. It's like there's always a bit like 4 stories a day. So I'll just live with it. Who cares? I'll bump it down. If I want to look good, I'll get hair and makeup done and look good the next day. Who cares?
And what's it like having these guys follow you? Is it weird and scary a bit sometimes?
It's not because I'm used to it, but if you think about it as like a everyday person, if someone was at the beach taking photos of you, you'd call the cops. But with me, somehow I've signed a contract saying it's okay, like to follow me and take photos. It'd be stalking anyone else. So I don't know where I signed up for it, but it's just part of it. And I can't whinge because that's just part of what it helps you too. If you need it, sometimes it helps you. Like at least people are interested. I try and think positive.
And that's, I guess, it's currency in that way.
Yeah, well, you got to. It's not always good, but it's also, imagine not being talked about in our industry as well. So, yeah, I just try and think of the positive of them and try and be nice to them too. Always say hello to them, like they're doing their job, and that's...
Do you know them by name now?
No. They'd be
Don't get that
devastated if they
close.
heard that. But there's a couple I do. Is like, I'm like, can you just wait? I'll run to the bathroom because they're going to take the photo regardless.
Yeah. How did UberEATS come about?
They approach me, but I'm obsessed. I order it nearly every night because otherwise I'll smash the mini bar. You've never seen anything like it.
Yeah, right. So when you're in a hotel, you order UberEATS.
Oh, yes, I have
just
to.
started doing
and it
that
actually
too.
comes quicker than the room
service.
service. Yeah. So it's genius.
From one to a completely unrelated topic. Oh, the dress that you wore on the red carpet at the Arias.
Yep.
How do you decide what to wear for a big event like that? Is it scary? Is it like...
No, I don't trust my own judgment because last year I chose my own dress.
What did you wear?
I got worse dress, so I can't remember. But I just decided after that I'm never deciding again what I wear because every time I choose it myself, everyone's like, terrible. So
what's it like having a stylist? Do they ask you what kind of things you like? And
no, she doesn't anymore. She's like one of my best friends and she's like, you're wearing this. And I'm like, done. I'll just walk out the door. I'll just wear anything she says. Yeah, she knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'd be a designer or a stylist.
And
I don't know what I'm doing.
People said it looked like a vulva. I thought that was not. I mean, people are saying that about any pink dress now.
I look like a what?
Vulva.
Did I?
I didn't think you did at all. But that someone said
you
that.
say it.
Yeah. Yeah, but it, like in a tasteful way.
What? Nice
also,
flaps.
what's wrong with pink bits?
I look like flaps?
Them?
That's what you're saying. I didn't hear
I
that.
didn't say it.
You kind of did.
I'm
I didn't know
repeating
it until you said it.
Yeah, I'm repeating it.
Okay.
But the funny thing is that before we did this interview, I looked at your Playboy photos.
Oh, God. Well, you can't see them there.
No, you can't see them. You don't have any pubes, though.
And I know. Well, and I also arched my back so it looks a bit Barbie-ish. You can't really see.
Yeah, right. How did that come about?
They approached me for years and years and years and years. And I thought, you know what, before you hypnotise, why not do it? I did the cover of Vogue and now Playboy. I was like, they're both iconic.
Bucket list.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was reading that you said that you thought your boobs looked a bit 70s.
Well, it was a bit hot that day and I was like, they're a bit warm, the nipples.
They're real though.
Yeah, but I don't. You want them a bit like cold in that temperature, but it's like they're always
really
erect,
nice.
Always erect in the red carpet when I don't want them to be, and then they're warm as hell
in the vulva dress always.
Yeah,
yeah. What happens next? You're 37.
Yep.
He's 45.
5. Yep.
Met the kids yet?
No, not yet.
What are you gonna do about that?
We'll meet them, and yeah, we'll see where it goes. I mean, it's still early. Like, people forget how early it is.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, usually I rush it, but there's time, like, to get to know each other properly and settle and, you know, I'm all over the place. We need to have proper routine as well. But we get along great right now.
Yeah, but you're never going to have a proper routine.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
But just some time, like a holiday period together properly.
Yeah. Away from the scrutiny.
Exactly.
How's that going to happen?
Well, soon. After I do this job, hopefully.
Yeah, it's really interesting the way you're talking because I think that for so many people, or the way the show's set up, it's this momentum to the you choosing the one and then it's da-da-da. And so everyone's like, okay, let's keep going with the momentum. Why aren't they engaged? Why aren't they whatever? But it's like it's the beginning now, really, isn't it?
That's exactly it.
It's the beginning.
Yeah. It's still so early. But, yeah, they expect you to go, bang, it's all on and I'm pregnant. And married with, I was pregnant with twins the other day.
Yeah, I thought those stories are just ridiculous.
Well, he's had a vasectomy, so it's also Mission Impossible.
Yeah, but and also just the timing. Does anyone know how
that's
female
right,
cycle
exactly.
works?
Yeah. So it's just, I think they want that because they're excited, but they don't realise the time frame is very, it's still new.
Yeah.
We're just enjoying each other.
Are you happy?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah. Was he what you were looking for?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do want to be patient this time.
Yeah.
Because I've ruined it by rushing it with other people. Yeah.
Take it slow, lay down those foundations.
Exactly.
Good to see you.
You too.
Lots of love.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to No Filter. Wasn't that great? She's quite the celebrity. She does celebrity well. She's not a diva in any way. She's just divine and very funny and warm. But she was wearing this gorgeous dress and her hair and makeup came with her and she had a few touch-ups because we were filming this podcast and then obviously we were filming the Facebook Live. But you can imagine that she just gets home and rips off her frock and gets into her trackies, takes off her false eyelashes and kicks back. So since we recorded that, it was announced that Sophie's going to be the host of Love Island, which is like a sort of a sex version of The Bachelor. And that no doubt is going to be interesting. I mean, she's born to be in front of the camera. And it's really funny, whenever she's being filmed, she can't help but just break and look straight at the camera. Her comic timing is just outstanding. Subscribe to us in iTunes if you haven't already. If this is the first episode of No Filter that you've listened to, perhaps you're a big Sophie Monk fan. Subscribe to No Filter because there are so many interviews that you can scroll back and listen to. You might be interested in particularly listening to my interview, say, with Roxy Jasenko or Jackie Lambie, two other women who remind me of Sophie in that they very much speak their mind, or Lisa Wilkinson, or Lee Sales, or Samuel Johnson, or Georgie Gardner, who is now the host of the Today Show. There are so many amazing interviews. Not that I'm amazing, but the people I interview are amazing. And they're just really, really interesting conversations, and particularly over summer. If you've got a road trip, lots of people tell me they listen to No Filter when they're driving. Anyway, so subscribe in iTunes. We've got lots more podcasts there as well. You can download the Mamma Mia podcast app, give yourself a Christmas present, do that. Leave a review on iTunes, give us 5 stars because that helps people find out about the podcast. And follow me on all the things. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, I'm on LinkedIn now. I'm all over LinkedIn. LinkedIn's the new Facebook, people keep telling me. And the producer of this podcast is Eliza Ratliff, who has been telling me that LinkedIn is the new podcast. I mean, the new Facebook. Who even am I? What day is it? The head of podcasts here at Mamma Mia is Rachel Corbett. Gosh, we have fun in this little podcast studio. Rock and roll. Lots of love. See you on the internet. Bye.